All right, we got some pretty amazing news coming out of T-Mobile here, some network stuff. I'm really happy to report these things and bring them to your attention. All right, so Abdullah has the story, Phone Arena. I'll link it for you guys. You'll find that in the description box. But let's take a look at what they've been doing in the wonderful, beautiful state of Florida. T-Mobile's network leveling up seemingly all the time. So the ongoing efforts to bolster, increase, improve Florida network for T-Mobile has been something that's been in the works for several years. As it stands, I think their ultra capacity 5G network covers most of the state. There's probably not many places where they don't have that coverage. If they do, it's probably small, as they've built out with tons of money. Very typically, when a company spends a lot of money within a state or a region, you see tangible upgrades and network enhancements pretty quickly, like within a quarter, within 6 months, within a year, within 2 years. It could be a night and day difference. So T-Mobile's been very aggressively building out their 2.5 gigahertz spectrum that it was able to acquire through the Sprint merger, and then subsequently with the Spectrum Auction 108 through the FCC, they were also able to secure more licenses in more of the white space areas, and that covers more people with the ultra capacity network. And that's the really fast, speedy service that T-Mobile offers. So with respect to Miami, we're talking about probably the highest traffic area within the state. We're talking about an investment of $500 million in the last 4 years. This was all used in the construction of 360 or more dedicated cell towers. Tampa received $250 million, which included the build of 119 additional cell towers. Orlando, you think about the tourism there with, all the different Disney facilities and all that. $204 million to build 126 new tower sites. And this all with what T-Mobile already had. And then, of course, the integration of the Sprint towers that existed previously. I think there was like 1,300 or more of those. And, when they build these new towers, when they upgrade them, modernize them, not only do the cell towers get faster, improve the performance and redundancy of the network, but they also typically add things like backup power, which I think in the state of Florida is pretty much a requirement. I think that's law by the state, just because of the extreme weather and natural disasters that can happen there. Over this course of the investment, T-Mobile's 5G download speeds now exceed 266 megabits per second, which shows an over 200% improvement since 2021. So we're just talking about action from the last handful of years, a $2 billion investment that has made the state of Florida one of the favorites for T-Mobile. And guys, this is not a joke. During the pandemic, people were leaving California. People were moving out of certain states, going to others that were more operational. I'd say, I guess, a little bit more open. I don't know how else to explain it. But like Florida was one of those states, where people were going, and they had abundance and growth. And the networks were lagging. Once those people started moving in, the networks weren't building out fast enough, right? So they needed a couple years to catch up. Verizon did a nice job of that. AT&T has been working on it, and T-Mobile obviously has done a nice job too. So nice job by T-Mobile to do this. Remember, they, for those areas where they don't have coverage, which could be in certain spots in the state, you've got the Starlink thing, right, to kind of back things up. So this is pretty good. I look, the thing about the T-Mobile network is, before the merger, they were always improving and getting better, but they were limited in what they could do. Once they got the merger, the opportunities to build out a bigger and better network, you had all the assets, right? They've been dumping money into the network. They've been improving it. It's tangible. We see it. It's identifiable. And they become a legitimate contender as a network leader in a lot of states, right? In a lot of markets where people, live, where they spend like 99% of their time. And they've been really good for folks. And this is something worth celebrating, because this is one of those states can be a little tough, right, to kind of do cellular networking. You've got market share, imbalances. You've got lots of users. fiber access, building towers, rebuilding them when they get damaged, making a network resilient. There's a lot of challenges in Florida, so I want to give T-Mobile the salute for doing this and making the network better, putting their money where their mouth is. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you have experience, traveled the state, you could share kind of what you've been seeing from T-Mobile. I'd love to hear what you have to say on it. Drop me some comments. Like, share, subscribe, check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.